Nikki Glaser podcast. The Nikki Glaser podcast.
Hello, here we are. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser podcast.
Yay.
Welcome. It's January 6th, Monday.
Oh God, I forgot.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Wait a second.
Happy holidays. To all that celebrate.
To everyone who celebrates. Brian is here. Sean is here.
Hi.
Sean O'Connor. Brian Frange. Chris Convy.
I'm here.
Yeah.
We're all here. We're all doing it. This is the day after. I don't know. I have only slept for 3 hours.
It's a crazy day.
Since yesterday
It's almost
morning.
like it's hard
so I
to
feel
say anything.
kind of in a dreamlike state.
And you've been talking nonstop for like 70 days getting ready for this, and then you had Globes last night, Stern this morning.
Yep.
I feel like you should just turn it over to these two to describe the events of last night.
Well, we started talking
They're
about
so
it
good at this.
when we got here, and I kept saying, "No, we got to save it for the pod."
Okay, yeah.
This
So
banter
just
is
to
too
set the
good.
stage, last night I hosted the Golden Globes, the 82nd Golden Globes. It was live on CBS. It went extraordinarily well. All of the hard work, all of the running around doing sets, all of the writing, all of the just thought that went behind it totally paid off. It's a testament to like when you know something so well, you can just get up there and have fun and do it. We had a blast doing it all around, but it like truly was exceeded expectations, I believe. Like if I would have dreamed for it to have a response, it truly was the response that it got in every way. In fact, like we were saying this morning, some of the article titles would have been if we were like, if I pitched to the writer's room, can you guys like pitch out on some titles to articles that we would want people to write after this? They would have been these. You know, it was truly, yeah, it was just it was another like Tom Brady roast kind of like moment of like it all worked out, and I'm so lucky and happy and grateful
to have two of these, like the Tom
same
Brady
year.
roast, where then everyone in the world of sports knows who you are after it, and then now everyone in Hollywood knows. It's like you got to go do like a Home Depot.
Yeah, what group of people am I not
What
hitting
group are
right
you
now?
not hitting? Well, across the board, you got rave reviews from not just Huffington Post, but also Breitbart wrote an article about you that because there were jokes in there for
Wow.
everybody.
Yes,
There were
we
jokes
really
that
did.
appease different demographics at different times.
Let
Very
me just say,
carefully.
we didn't do that
Unintentionally.
because we
Yeah.
were like trying to be middle of the road and play both sides. It was just like we just felt the vibe of we felt the zeitgeist right now, which would literally change by the hour.
Yeah.
Based on like if they knew who Luigi Mangione was, if they
Yeah.
were worried about Trump,
Yeah.
like if the vibe in the air was, like it was changing every day, but we just nailed it, the tone, and so no one felt we were skewering them because
Yep.
we weren't. It was like it was about skewering the idea of things more. It wasn't like no one got like scorched either.
No, it was so celebratory, and the nicest tweet that I read that like really just like ignited something in my brain to the point where it's all I've thought about for the last 18 hours is someone said this felt like the first award show to ever feel young and in the moment.
Aww.
And they were like, Nikki should be like the millennial Billy Crystal moving forward.
Oh, man.
Where it was just like, it really felt like for the first time ever, it didn't feel old and stale.
That's the longest tweet I've
stodgy.
ever heard.
Yeah. Oh, no,
still
this,
going.
I
This is
just
still
started.
part of it.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
This is
No,
part
that's
of it.
so nice. Yeah, that's. I mean, the word "young" to be described. When you're 40, but that's how long this takes to like be, for me at least, to be good enough to have done this. I couldn't have done this in my 20s or 30s. I think some people do have talent that emerges, or they just find out who they are as a performer earlier on. But and just being able to be surrounded by the right people, but truly like is such a win. Like I feel like Tom Brady on the Patriots, and we just won the Super Bowl. That's how I feel. Like I really feel like it's our win.
I think Tom Brady is a pretty apt description because this I felt way different this time than I did after the Tom Brady roast. After the Tom Brady roast, I felt like I won the Super Bowl. I felt like I was euphoric.
Yeah.
This time I was not euphoric.
Yeah, what were you feeling?
I was satisfied. I was like, we came here to win. We expected to win, and we won.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was like, this is gonna. I think I posted online beforehand. Yeah, on my Instagram, I said, get ready because you're about to see the best monologue in Golden Globes history, and that was prior to the monologue.
Yeah.
And if it was any
Manifest.
worse than that, I would be depressed right now.
Yeah.
And we were the best monologue in Golden Globes history, and so now I'm satisfied.
He's satisfied.
I'm so satisfied.
So funny.
I love the difference between Brian right now and Brian on Saturday.
Yes.
It's great. It's like honestly, it's like the substance in a way where you
Oh
have
my God,
hatched
you
out.
emerged.
You're younger. You're like
More
more
vibrant.
vibrant. Yeah,
The
like-
lust for life.
Yeah.
yeah. Dennis Quaid's jacking off to you right now.
It is. It's just so awesome. Like just the relief on the other side of a lot of work, a lot of anxiety is just one of the best feelings in the world. It's like why you do it. It's like why. It's that's what I'm going after, the feeling of yes. It like that was so scary.
Yep.
And then now it's not anymore. And there is like there with that comes like kind of like then what do I think about? Like I can't. Last night I could not fall asleep because all like was monologue jokes were going through my head. The wording of joke, like still my brain is still like keep running them, keep practicing them. It was really bizarre.
How about Nikki memorizing that last joke?
Oh,
Incredible.
Oh my God.
It's like one of the most impressive things I've ever
I
seen.
can't believe I did not. Let's just set the stage to tell the story.
Context. Yeah.
So, the last joke I do was about
In the monologue.
In the monologue, the last joke I did was about how no matter what happens tonight, whether you win or lose, just remember the point of winning an award is not to the point of making art is not to win an award. The point of making art is to start a tequila brand so popular you never have to make art again.
Great joke.
And every joke was in the prompter, the teleprompter, in case, I was off book for all of the jokes, but I would have to just look to see where I was in the monologue and some of the wording. Maybe I would look to it, but we were moving things around, so it was more. The prompter was more about like what's next, as opposed to
It's
like
a
what am
road-
I saying?
Yeah, roadmap for you.
Yeah. But that joke we took out because we found at rehearsal the one before it about, this is going to be a memorable evening. Someday you're going to look back and be like, oh, see one of the crowd shots and go, oh my God, that was before they caught that guy. That was supposed to be the closer because at rehearsal, a tag for it went really well.
Yeah.
Where I say it's like, it's a guy, it could be a woman, it's not going to be.
And it did do really well in the room. Both those tags exploded. The 100% of the time it's a man that exploded.
That was the biggest pop
Yeah.
of the entire monologue. Was
And it got an
100%.
applause break.
Yeah, like
But but what Nikki sensed was that this is kind of a downer to end on. This is not a celebratory
Yeah.
statement to be making.
Tom Brady right
Yeah,
here,
yeah. Right.
stepping
Called
up,
an
being
audible
like, yeah,
at the
called
line.
an audible at the
I
line.
did call it audible.
And this was not in the prompter. We removed it because
What, John?
Even more impressive is every time you did this joke at the in a set, you kept saying brand of tequila, and it was always supposed to be tequila brand, and you kept saying brand of tequila, and in your memory, you did the right wording, and it is.
That's crazy.
It was
Because
insane.
I never
It was-
once
Never?
said it right before then.
No, holding it in your hand, like
Because I would always like see the joke and I would look up from my phone and just say brand of tequila instead of tequila brand. I didn't even realize that I got that right. That's
You
so
got
great.
it completely right
like-
last night and right now, and it's just like
What if I would have like if it would be a totally different conversation. That's how delicate this shit is
Yeah.
that if I would not have landed that last joke, which was just a fraction of what I did up there the whole night,
Yeah.
it would have been it would be a different story today because a closer is your dismount. It is like that's your pose at the end, and if you wobble on that, it's like it just gives a different. It's more important than the first thing you do. So for me to go, and I was talking, and I remember being like, it's that moment like when a gymnast is flying through the air on this like and everyone's holding their breath and it's silent and like it's time slows down. That is what I felt in a movie moment in my mind saying that joke of like I don't know if the next word is going to be the right word. What's going to happen? Thank fucking God that is over.
Yes.
That moment is over because if someone would have told me that moment was coming up in my life, I would, and I hate that there are going to be more moments like that in my life that I know are coming up because I set myself up for them all the time.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
but it was completely flawless, and
Oh.
it ended the monologue in such a triumphant way where
Yep.
everyone like cheered.
Yeah.
And then like right after that, you get like another slam with the Rock coming
The
out.
Rock.
It paired so well with bringing the Rock up as well because he has a tequila brand that's very successful.
Oh, yeah.
my
And we never
God.
even meant it
We
to be
didn't
that because he
even-
got moved the day of.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
It's like a perfect circumstance that like you just nailed, and it's like this electric moment that like it was like goosebumps. It was incredible. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
It really is just about like, what it boils down to is like if you got to practice, and that's the reason I do lots of sets is
Another
because I
Tom
don't
Brady
like,
quote.
I don't like to. I don't like to rehearse like when there's not an like I don't like to just go over the script reading it over with a group of in a room. I don't like to rehearse by alone. I mean, I'm sure that it would have worked also that way to just say the lines over and over. But I just had to go out and do a bunch of sets so that I was forced to say it a bunch. It's not even it wasn't even about testing the material. I mean, it was about that, but I realized now it was about just like saying it so much that I could say it anyway and still find my way back. Or if something happened, it was just like I had it memorized so well. But for me, there's no other way to do that than just book sets, because then I have like practicing lines for an audition I would never do. Like, and I go into auditions and I'm never prepared or off book because I don't. There's no the
'Cause you're a 3.
auditioning sucks, but when there's an audience there,
Yeah.
I'll audition.
Yeah.
I'll practicing sucks, but when there's an audience, practice can happen for
You need
me.
to have an acting class.
Nikki likes to scrimmage.
yeah.
She doesn't want to do drills.
Yeah,
No, the
yes.
drills are
I
no
don't want to
good.
drill.
That's not
That's
Tom
why
Brady
I
quote.
practice. I learned so much guitar when I was able to go live on Instagram. It's like I need an audience watching me. Like, I practice like when I really suck, like off Instagram, but like to try it and like you need an audience. I don't know. 3. I guess 3.
That's all it is, and you can
Yeah.
boil the whole monologue down to the fact that you're a 3.
Oh God.
Can't get away from it.
So glad.
I was watching the monologue on
happened.
YouTube today, which, by the way, is over 2 million now.
Yeah, it's
Oh
it's
my
at 2.3.
What?
and, it's at 2.3. It's been 15 hours at the time of taping. And last year's monologue has 2.9 in a year.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and I think that's mostly us watching it to figure out what not to do.
That's so funny.
But I was watching it, and we got to that part where you have to do that. You do the audible, and you have to do that last joke. And I saw it last night, and I know that it went well. And even watching it, knowing that, I was still nervous that you weren't going to
Yes.
get it. I was
My
like,
heart sank in that moment.
Yeah.
When I saw it was an impromptu, and I knew Nikki had to do it. I was terrified. And-
It's the wildest audible
Yeah.
call because you start saying, "All right," and then you're like, before we start giving out awards, like it was like so you caught yourself. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna start it right now.
Yeah.
But like
It just-
we know that, but everyone in the room is just like, oh, of course, like she's taking a beat as we're laughing to
Yeah.
go, all right.
Yes.
Like-
yeah, it was flawless. And then I want to say something that I think is an underappreciated aspect of your hosting, which is obviously it was funny and the monologue was amazing and the interstitials were amazing, but watching it back, I really like the way you introduce people.
Oh.
It's very professional. It's got
Charming.
like a great tenor in
Oh.
your voice.
Yes.
Wow.
It was wall to wall some of the best hosting ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God.
Your introductions were incredible. Like
The smiles. It's like you know how when you see like a kid and like they've been trained to be a debutante and
Yeah.
like how do you know which fork to use and how do you know how to position your arms?
Yeah.
It was like that for hosting. It was just
Aw.
like
it really was. You were like adult John Bonet. Like
That is the greatest
one of the
compliment you
greatest.
ever
Finally
tell
did
me.
you're her
That is
grown
so
up.
nice. That's so nice.
I mean, Pope-ular. Like,
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
let's talk about
get into
Pope-ular.
Pope-ular.
Honestly, I think there could be an hour-long documentary about how Pope-ular
We
came
might
to
make
be.
one.
Safdie can direct
I'm
it.
serious. You could interview every single person. There's a story for most people that have
Yeah.
been involved in this project with Nikki. And everybody had some little part to play to create something that was so funny and people loved.
loved.
It really
like,
is.
Loved to a point that like literally my son today woke up and the first thing he did like to wake me up was sing Pope-ular.
Oh my God,
Him and his
that
friends were
touched me so
singing
much.
Pope-ular at a an adult Golden Globes thing.
Does that mean everybody was topless?
it changed something in my son. He like loved it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, I was listening to
That
Wicked
is
soundtrack
awesome.
at the gym today. I was just like, I gotta hear Pope-ular.
You went to the gym today?
Went to the gym this morning. I have to.
I guess you got to sleep in. Not really?
You didn't do Stern?
Yeah, I didn't do Stern. I got back pretty late. I talked to Allie, stayed up so I could give her like the download. And
What grade did she give it?
she gave it an A++.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. That's really good.
Yeah, we talked until like 2:00 in the morning about it because we stayed out really late.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, I didn't leave the Hilton until midnight or past midnight.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
just hanging
And
and
then
chatting.
Nikki was trying to go to sleep for us. And I just kept trying to talk about how great she was. And she's trying to sleep.
Well,
and I'm like, I'm so
couldn't
sorry.
sleep. No. I wanted the company. I was like, because you went downstairs for a bit to collect like some stuff from the writer's room, and I was like, when is he coming back? Like, I can't be alone. I haven't been alone forever. I wanted to like talk or like process, and like, it's wild.
It's all I wanted. I got home and everyone was asleep. But then I got like a text message from my friend who is not in the industry, but he's in the music industry, and he's like way too cool for school with everything. And he was like, I was at a party, and as she started doing Pope-ular, the whole party was like, no, don't do this. And then the turn of This Sucks, he was like, it was a celebration. We all got. Like,
That's
we all.
so good because like we were feeling like so many people were like they really wanted the song, and like I think some people it would have been like a fun thing to
Yeah.
do. But
Ariana
I
wanted
didn't
it.
really hear that anyone had that. Like I haven't heard the reaction of like what is she doing? Like and then they were like, oh, you got us. And that's so good to hear that paid off because that's what we were writing to. Like we wanted to trick people.
We tricked a group of like alternative musicians in a way where they were just
Yes.
like, oh my God, like what
This
a
sucks.
turn.
Anything but
this whole thing
please.
sucks. That was my favorite part. Was just saying this whole thing sucks. That really like made me laugh every time I said it, which was like 3 times.
Yeah.
But to practice it, we came up with Pope-ular the night before at like 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
9 or 10.
Yeah.
It happened so late that I went to sleep being like, well, Pope-ular's definitely getting cut. I
Yeah,
can't wait to
we-
see what we do in Act 3.
We were loopy. You never can trust an idea like that late before the show.
And it's a miracle that it even happened. Like it just is. Thank God I had canceled my sets that night because it was just I was having a fun time in the writers' room. I was like, I don't need to practice anymore. It's down. Like we don't need to do that. So I canceled my sets and then we were that just came from us being kooky and just go like throwing out stuff and like saying like, oh, what could we do if we're not just like, because Jess Dweck was the one that was like, you just had a great monologue and you have you're talking in all the acts. We have this Act 3. Like we were going to do another mini monologue about TV, which would have been great and great jokes. But she was like, I don't know. At that point, I'm like looking for something more. I'm like kind of bored. It's like the same thing we already saw. And then to me, I was just like, God damn it. She's fucking right.
She's
And
so
now we
right.
have to like
Yeah.
come up with something like, we have
Yeah.
to come up with like a interactive bit where I'm going to have to like go in the audience or I'm going to have to like, I don't know, like go over, like do some sort of like bit. Just doing bits is like, it's hard to come up with a bit that works. Like, yes, I'm great at telling jokes. That's what I do. Like, let's just stick to that. But she was so right. And I'm like, I really was like, oh, this is going to be such a long night. And this is just insurmountable of like, where do we even go? What do we do?
Her saying that at like 8:30, 9 p.m. was so helpful though because
Oh, thank God she
we've
said
been
it.
in a windowless room
Yeah.
all day.
Oh my God, you're so right. There's no
And
windows. in that
everyone's
room.
crazy. And
Yeah.
the original pitch was like you come out like Linda and the song was cut. And then JP McDade said Pope-ular.
Yeah.
And then no one heard him except for Mike Gibbons, who then asked him to repitch it again. And then we kind of just talked.
He thought he backed off on it because he's
Yeah.
like, oh, everybody
Oh,
hates it.
There's
Yeah,
no way
I'm
this
done.
is a good joke. Nobody laughed at
Nobody
it. I'm never
laughed.
saying this
Yeah.
again.
And then he pitches it again because Gibbons makes him pitch it again. And then we kind of riff on it for like 10 minutes. And then like 3 of us just go into another room, bang out a script, and then you're sending it off. And thank God we did it because not only was it really funny, but it also gave every like news outlet an iconic photo of you wearing a Pope hat
I'm
the
like,
Glinda
and the
wand.
Glinda thing, and you look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
it's my favorite thing I've ever done, I think, for sure. And I definitely want that as my in memoriam photo when I die. It's 100% like, please, if I die, please have this clip resurface at the Emmys, because that's the one I'll be shown dead on.
Nikki said this last night, and her mom and her dad, like a bunch of us were there, and Nikki's like, I want this as my in memoriam image. Please, we need to make that happen. And Nikki's mom goes, oh, we'll make it happen. And we're like, you're alive in this scenario.
But I think it'll get a laugh in the room.
Oh, yeah.
If that is like, it just looks ridiculous.
It looks ridiculous, but it also looks iconic. Like,
Yes.
you have a white background from the spotlight.
Yeah, it's like-
you look fucking cool.
Yeah.
And it's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
It's just a callback. It's
It
just the
was so-
longest callback of all time. If the picture pops
But
up.
when we were in the room and you had written it out and you guys had like gave us this amazing script and like we had pitched out on it in the room and stuff, and I was just like fired up by it. But it was also like we were like high on caffeine and adrenaline and nerves, and like, you know, I would say there was probably like 30 times we all collectively got like really excited about something and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh my
Literally
God.
like 30 times.
That happened for 30 different Wicked jokes we never wound up telling.
Yes.
We
Or,
almost
like,
gave out a medal.
this.
Yeah, even Brian's like, Dweck has done it, or like another person has done it multiple times.
Yeah, and then, man.
There were so many ideas that we had that we, you know, in the room, it's a great feeling because even if it doesn't work out, there's like this feeling of like, and then this and this, and we're just like, we're making each other laugh about it. And we're like, should we do this? This is crazy. And they never go. But this was one when I was like, God, I really do. I like singing. And I'm not doing it too much that it's like, seems like I'm singing and it's making fun of myself. And it's catchy, like, and it's so good. Pope-ular is so funny.
Yeah, it's such a catchy song. The joke is so clear immediately.
Yep.
And then on top of that, it's like, honestly, maybe the most cutting joke of the entire show, because in any other award show, they would do the entire song.
Yes.
And like,
It's a burn on every award show.
yes,
that
like
has song.
honestly, you like took that away from like the SAG Awards. Like, they might have actually done that.
Yeah.
We gotta go
hold
to
on,
break.
I gotta text with someone very important that I gotta.
Oh, good
yeah.
tease.
We'll be back after this. We're back. That was a crazy.
This article
text.
is crazy. So,
Yeah.
So funny.
There is
Oh.
an article in Rolling Stone that the title of the article is, and Bob just sent this to us, so credit to Bob. System of a Down jokingly confirm Glenn Close was a bandmate following Golden Globe shout out.
Oh my God.
That's
That
right.
is so funny.
Guitarist
That joke did not get anything in the room. People were so confused. It was just for people who were listening closely, you know?
I will say,
Glenn closely.
it was the
Yeah.
dumbest thing I've ever pitched in my entire life.
It was so
But it
funny.
killed in the room. And it, you know, sometimes the jokes are for the people, and this one was definitely.
It was like 2-time Golden Globe recipient, Hollywood legend, and former drummer of System of a Down, Glenn Close.
that was like definitely for the room.
It was so funny. It's like, but like, why not say that? Like, that is so funny. And like, even if it, like, for me, those like kind of tosses to presenters, there's no harm in that, because it was just like, just say the weirdest thing. Make people go, what did she just say? Yeah. That's more interesting than just like, here comes.
Because when you bring somebody out, nobody's even really paying attention until the
Not
person
at
walks
all.
out.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
No.
the idea that you even put some jokes in there is like so exciting.
Yeah.
It was just a little treat for anyone who was paying attention, which I at that point in the show, it was late in the show. It was probably the 7th act out of like 10 or so. And
It was
like,
Oh no,
the
it was
12th
the 12th
act.
act.
what?
It was the
act.
end of
I
the
didn't even
show.
know
It
there
was the last thing.
Yeah, she was about to give that award to the brutal.
Oh my God.
She
was
laughed.
laughing
I didn't hear,
as
but
she
she
was
was
walking
laughing
out.
at-
She
That's
was
so
laughing as she
funny.
walked out.
Oh,
She
that's
liked
great.
the joke. I think. I mean, I can assume that's why she's laughing.
Glenn Close, like rewatching the monologue was a top 5
Laugher?
audience member. Glenn Close, Ralph Fiennes, fucking loved you. Like the entire halftime recap, he's right behind you. He's just laughing the entire time.
Really?
Oh,
And he's like laughing at
love
Tucci.
yeah, and he starts laughing at Tucci and pointing at
about
him.
Tucci's cologne.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I love Ralph Fiennes so much that I cannot believe you just told me that. That makes me I was so nervous just standing because when you go out in the crowd, I was so nervous being there because I just didn't want anyone to like feel forced to say something to me because I'm just like waiting there. So I even told the stage manager, don't set me out there until like I go like literally we'll start walking a minute before we're back on. He was like, I want to go out a minute 30. I was like, please, I just don't want to stand out there in like while everyone's still talking and I'm just standing there alone. Like they're gonna feel like they'll have to say good job, and if they don't, I'll feel sad. But people just were like leaving me alone because they're like, she's a job to do.
Yeah.
Was the vibe. It wasn't like we don't like her vibe.
Oh no!
No,
Like
no.
I made mental notes of everyone who like was really digging it. Glenn Close.
Yeah, I've got MVP Huge Star Edition.
Yeah.
So who are some of yours?
Oh, Kylie. You even during the Timothy part,
I was scared to even ask. It matters to me too much.
Eyelashes. Fucking killed her.
What?
She
Stop.
doubled over.
Stop.
It's on the monologue. She is like bending over laughing,
Yeah.
and like Timothy is like trying to play it cool, but he's laughing.
Dude.
And then like during the Sandler thing, you really broke Timothy.
Oh my
like,
God! Yes. Well, it's I realize like it's so much. It's so hard to have a camera in your face because all the cameras are in people's faces. And they don't know when the joke is coming about them. They know it's coming because there's a camera in their face.
Yeah.
And they're a big star, so it's probably like they're like, oh, what's this gonna be? And when you from doing roast, when I would even see my name up in the prompter when someone was like doing their roast set, and I know a joke's coming about me, you like black out. You don't even listen to it. Like you're just like. You can't like process information when you're so nervous what's going to be said. So I went to bed last night being like, oh, I have to remember they are terrified in that moment. I really was like, they have nothing to worry. They should trust me. And like, I just like know that I am trustworthy. So I just think that they will be, but they were so scared.
Oh,
Yeah.
they might have been scared, but oh my God, like Kate Blanchett,
Oh
every
my God.
reaction shot, she's dying. Eddie
Really?
Redmayne is
Definite MVP.
Is MVP.
Yeah.
Really?
He was laughing and looked like he pretended he like got shot. He like was falling over in
Stop.
his chair.
He loved it.
The jackal joke broke Redmayne.
He loved it. Huge MVP, Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Big
Yeah.
boost in the room. That was amazing.
Oh, that
So
was
cool that
great.
he was down for that.
Ariana and Cynthia.
Ariana.
The most
Thank
attentive
you.
audience member of all
She
time.
was just being a fun human
They
being.
Yeah.
like made me feel so safe being
Yes,
there.
I
that's- they-
literally said to Chris, I think when you were out there, that Ariana doing the hold your finger and then she picked up Cynthia's and was like, this is you, felt like the Kevin Hart moment at the
Yes.
Tom Brady roast.
It was
where-
just a cosign of like we're on board with this girl.
Yeah.
Like it set this. Everyone was like in, and like they didn't have to go that hard on it. They or like have that kind of moment. I met Ariana once when she was dating Pete, like very quickly, and I don't think she knew who I was. I mean, there's no way. So there was no like goodwill I had with her in my mind before that. So, but I just sensed them even before that joke of like they leaning forwards and
She
like
was
she was
present
Yes.
and fun and light.
She was
it
so
was
cool.
amazing.
her
to
and
see.
Cynthia came
felt
to
it.
play.
Yeah.
Like Cynthia,
Yeah.
when you were saying Cynthia Erivo is here, like rewatching the monologue, she's like, okay, what is she
Let's
gonna
go.
say?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we didn't know.
We didn't know. We didn't know you'd be down, girl.
Yeah,
Oh my God! Next time we will hit
got
you
you.
with a bit.
We were more afraid of you than you were of me.
Yes, totally.
They were so cool.
Because Wicked, that they were the ones to win over, and
Yeah.
it turns out like that fear I had of like they might be taking themselves too seriously was so unfounded. It was like the exact opposite. They were so
they were so
had such a good sense of
sincere.
humor about themselves immediately about it,
In-
and they were so yes.
In the press conferences, they were so sincere
Yes,
about
yeah.
all that stuff. But the fact that they were so light and fun and present
But
in that
of course,
show.
Ariana is down for comedy. She's funny.
she's funny.
Yeah,
We
she's
know,
funny.
You know.
Kidman brought it.
Yeah.
Kidman
Keith
is
Urban
like,
was-
Oh my God! Thank you
Loving
for
it.
telling me these
Yeah.
because I haven't watched it yet, and like when I was up there, I wasn't really absorbing.
and I
everything.
sent you this one, but Sarah Paulson's reaction to the two fingers up joke
Oh my
is
God,
my
was
favorite.
great.
I didn't
She
see
is
that.
just Like, right? You see her over, like, she looks so shocked her face turned into Katy Perry's.
Adrian Brody.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
MVP.
surprise of the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
the fact that he laughed at that.
He
we thought he
laughed
was
and
going to
blew
stone
you a
face
kiss.
us.
Yes, that was so cool. I wish I could have seen better. I couldn't really see what everyone was doing, but that's from my years of blurring my eyes and
Yeah.
not paying attention to people's faces. Like my body doesn't know how to like look at people
Yeah.
and like see what they're doing. I literally can't.
That's
and
good.
so I just kind of saw like an energy.
It was a positive energy
Yeah, like
emanating
Wicked,
from
I
the-
like did see because I like they were so close I
Yeah.
almost couldn't. But everyone else, there was just like Sandler, Chalamet. I was like, oh, I could see an energy of like he was. I saw him moving in a way that was laughing, but I couldn't really track it. It's nice to hear this.
Chalamet had a great time. I mean, what did
Club Chalamet had a
tell me?
great time.
This is one of my favorite
This
things.
is the greatest. Like, I'll never besmirch my queen, Club Chalamet.
Oh my God! There's the fan group
The
for
fan-
people who love Timothy Chalamet.
It's one woman.
Oh.
She's a 45-year-old woman in New York. We love Club Chalamet.
Shout
The
out.
moment Timothy laughed at you, that was the endorsement
all
that
she
she
needed.
needed. She said, "We think Nikki's funny." Timothy laughed.
It's such a great tweet. Nikki Glaser is funny. Timothy laughed. Like, I
There-
love that endorsement. It
was
really meant a lot to me.
So much
Truly.
generosity in the room from these huge stars.
was
The
a
Rock.
warm room.
I will.
I mean-
love The Rock for the rest of my life.
That was like my voice just cracked. I almost teared up. That was. I know it was your moment, but for me and Michael Lawrence, that was a pivotal moment in both of our lives.
I was watching your face, like,
I melted
Yes.
at just the sight of The Rock. Like
Oh my God.
I don't think the human brain could comprehend what The Rock looks like in real life.
yes.
Well, for context,
yes.
this was after the show ended.
And
we were
he
in
had
the
said
green.
before the show, he was presenting, so he was on the other side of the stage. He walked across the stage to come say hi to me and say good luck and say like you're gonna kill this and give me like just the
Did you
sweetest
get
like
a
and
hug?
I think I
Yeah, I saw that you got a hug.
I think I hugged him before and then after which he did not need to do, came by after everyone was in the room. We were all kind of celebrating. It was probably like 10 minutes after the end of the show and he came back.
He came back like he was the president of Hollywood.
Let's make him. Yeah.
I mean, like he kind of is. He's
Yeah.
the fucking Rock,
The president
like,
of the United
It's
States.
like yes, he came in, like swooped in, and like Nate Bargatze had just come in, and I was like, Nikki, you have a visitor.
I think I got Nate. I was like, Nate. And then all of a sudden it was
I'm like, not Nate. Like, we love Nate, but this is The Rock. And just like, honestly, like 280 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal walks into the room, and then he's just held
And pure charm.
pure charm, like
Yeah.
the most charismatic man to
Yeah.
ever live, tells you that for 3 hours you held the world in your hands.
yes. When you do what you did up there, you can hold the world.
He was so kind to you.
Oh my
I was
God.
like,
He said the monologue was perfect, and he made this sign, and then he said goodbye.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
Then he was just
perfect,
gone.
perfect length. Made nobody feel like, oh, what do we do with The Rock now?
Yeah.
He came in, he delivered his piece, and he got out of there.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
it
then,
was
like,
awesome.
I looked at Mike Lawrence and I was like, do I kill you? And we stab each other at the same time? Like, this is as good as life could ever be.
that's so awesome.
A man that we've watched since we are 9 years old.
Oh my God.
Marty and Martin Short were laughing,
Oh.
having such a good time.
That
Seth Meyers was
is
having
so
a good
cool.
time.
Right? I know you hate watching yourself, but you should really watch the halftime part. Ray Fiennes is having the time of his life.
That is so great to hear.
like he looks starstruck with you just standing in
That is
front of
so
him.
cool.
And I would say this like season of Nikki watching movies, there's two people that have stood out to Nikki that I can remember. I'm sure you have more. That she was just like, I love this man. Ray Fiennes.
yeah, I'm sorry, I've been sleeping on Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
Now I'm sleeping with him.
Yeah.
Like,
In her-
but
in her head.
I'm not a Harry Potter girly. I don't know what Schindler's List I've never seen. I'm sorry. What's the other ones?
Oh, he's in so much.
Yeah,
he's
The
so
English
good at
Patient.
everything.
Yeah,
he's-
I knew him from Made in Manhattan. He was
Yeah,
great
he's
in
in
that.
that.
I saw him in
He
that
did that
recently
movie.
because I.
That's the one?
He's actually so. I mean, it's like a rom com. He's so like
he's-
what a versatile.
He's like one of the
performer.
greatest actors to ever live.
He's next. Like you just, I don't know. Watching him, I'm just like that. It just that's acting in a way that and it's so subtle. It's like I don't even know what he's doing, but it's moving me in a way that I've never been moved by acting before.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious he's going to be listening to this. I feel like he's a bestie now. Like, based on like, truly, I saw stars in his eyes. Like it
my
was
God.
just like, oh my God, she's here now.
That is so
and she was
cool.
like, he
just
was
made my
laughing
day.
at everything. Oh my God, it was so fun to rewatch today.
He came to have a good time. A bunch of those people, I cannot believe they came to have a really good
The
time.
conclave
Yeah.
table was a
Yeah.
party table.
Yes. I can't wait to do this again.
I mean, Tucci was an active audience member. The first mention of Stanley Tucci freak off, it looked like we betrayed him. But when you
Cologne?
No, when you said there's no baby oil, there's olive oil, he starts laughing. Like,
Okay, good.
like it really got him. And it's so funny. Somebody made a meme that I sent to Chris.
It made me
if
laugh
you wanna
so hard.
show it, like you could see his reaction to freak off. And it's so funny what it says on top and then what it says on the bottom.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. I love
Okay.
What? Freak off? No. Then he looked. She started roasting him again for no reason, and he looked like he was in pain. I know it sounds harsh, but it's honestly what he deserves for not being gay.
I saw that on Twitter. But Stanley Tucci
That's so funny.
was such a great audience member and such a good sport.
I'm so glad.
And it happened again in the halftime thing when you...
the cologne.
With the cologne, he was confused. And then when you sold that, he laughed again.
Hammering Tucci twice is
the old Tucharoo.
I mean, honestly,
two-time Tucci.
at this
Yeah.
point, every award show you host from now on needs at least one Tucci.
Yes.
yeah.
where he thinks we're going hard, and then we lighten the load.
We love Stanley Tucci.
Take the load off
Who does
Tucci.
it? Who does it? That like the who we were gonna say for like the after party is gonna suck this year,
Yeah.
and then like who we're gonna say our Martin Short freak off doesn't have the same ring to it. A Tilda Swinton freak off. We were like, who's gonna have the freak off? And then because we were switching jokes around, and Martin Short was gonna be.
He was in so many jokes.
He was
made
gonna be in
appearances
Freak Off.
like every
Yeah.
joke in the monologue.
We wanted him to be a part of this thing so
moved him around
badly.
to every
Yeah,
space
since
we could
the
get.
first day we started,
Yeah.
like we knew Martin
and
Short.
he landed where he should, because it was
Yeah.
like someone said it was like I said, and Martin Short is here because we have cameras. Someone said that's such a Martin Short joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved that.
It was great, and then they widen out after Martin was laughing
And
to
Steve.
show Steve Martin laughing even harder at it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great
Steve
moment.
Martin was fully on board with it too. It was just amazing.
It was. I like truly. It was the greatest night of my life. So I have
so
no idea
fun.
how you're feeling.
Oh my God. I feel literally ill right now. My body is shutting
Yeah.
down. I'm not even kidding.
The adrenaline's
I feel
leaving
like
your body.
like sick.
Hawaii's
like,
gonna be
I might have to go to
miserable, guys.
break right now and like go puke. I'm like I'm like so happy, but I'm feeling physically worn down. I didn't eat much yesterday because I just wasn't hungry. Like when you're like,
Yeah.
I felt too nervous. And then today I've like I just ate so many blueberries. I think it was that.
Too many blueberries.
I think I might have
Too many
listeria.
unwashed blueberries.
'Cause I was, yeah.
Yesterday, I literally right after dress rehearsal, I started having a panic attack. So I took an Ativan. And then Brian said that I was a completely different person.
Oh my
because
God, well-
once you were comfortable after Act 3, like with Pope-ular, I was depleted of anxiety. I was so calm that I'm like, I can't even pitch jokes now. Like, I don't even know where to pull them from. I've never been. I was like
been
Mexican
sterilized.
Pope in Conclave. I was just turtles are beautiful. Like, I
Oh
was
my
just
God.
I looked at you and you looked like a totally different. It was around Act 5 or something, and all of a sudden I turned to Sean. His
During
hair,
the show or like during rehearsal?
This is Act 5 of the
Act
show.
5 of the show.
Of the
Oh.
show.
I took an Ativan between rehearsal and the show, and
But you were still pumped up.
I was
and then
so
once
pumped
after
up.
the
Yeah,
monologue and like the halftime show was pretty much locked in, all of a sudden I turned to Sean. His hair is like up and he's just eating a bag of chips and he's just like his soul left his body. I was like Sean, give us jokes.
I'm like, I have nothing.
What caused the panic attack?
I was just
it's everything.
yeah, it was everything. Like, I feel like
Pope-ular?
I mean, it might have been Pope-ular. Like, where I'm like, oh boy, it's like I felt like a mother sending off her son to war. I'm like, did you gotta be okay?
Did you guys have doubts?
I mean, I'm just playing out every scenario in these moments.
Doubts
Me too.
about Pope-ular?
Yeah.
No, I didn't have any
Pope-ular
doubts.
crushed so hard in rehearsal. I was like, there's just no way it
As soon
won't.
as your family came in and we performed it for them.
That
Yeah.
was a
Then it was
real
like, oh,
That was a
turning
big
point.
moment.
Yeah, I mean that's another layer to the story of
Yeah.
Pope-ular was
Pope-ular, which is
it was people were all loving it and having a good time, but when you called your parents in, and I was like, what's going on here? And when you performed it,
Yeah, I canceled a set that night, or 4 sets that night, but I booked one, and I brought the audience in because I was like, I need to see myself if this works, like, because when something we're pitching it out, like, and then you perform it, like, we've already all seen it, like, we wrote it. You know,
Yeah.
so even when the performance is all put together, we can all laugh and stuff, but there's something, we're giving it more or maybe less than it deserves. It's just hard to tell with the people who wrote it. So I was like, I texted them, they were coming back from dinner. I was like, can you come to the writer's room? I have something for you to see. You need to let me know. Because they're a great, they just have such great taste. They're also like both uninformed and as informed, or like they're informed, but like they don't get every reference. Like they didn't get my sister didn't know about like the finger holding thing, I think. Or maybe one or two of that. I think she knew that, but she didn't know. What didn't she know? There was some reference that I was like, oh, that surprised me that she knows. She's just like, they're just like the perfect focus group.
Yeah.
Of Midwest kind of.
Midwest, Middle America,
Yeah.
good old fashioned folks.
Of who you want, who's paying attention to who would be watching the show, and it worked. It killed.
And then
with
you
that.
were you were off book before the script was written.
It was
There was no script.
Pope-ular was in my bones. It was the role I was always meant to play.
It was so wild how you didn't even look at it when they got in. You just had it. You had like
I don't
this,
know if I was not off book, but it was close.
it was.
It was just fun. It was like I want to do, like, musical theater is something I've always loved. So even getting to touch on it a little bit, and then the idea of like a sketch moment of being told you suck is just wonderful to act out, because it's the voice in my head anyway. You know, and now I get to like say it out loud, and like, and no one else can say it about me, but now I have a chance that I say it, so that it just robs anyone the opportunity to say it. In any way. And that's not why I'm doing it, but in talking it out, I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of a part of it, is like, it's just so fun to say this sucks so much. You're embarrassing yourself in front of Elton John.
And I didn't see it, but you mentioned it that Ariana wanted.
Her
Twitter
reaction.
was a buzz. Her and Cynthia both were like,
they want more.
Why isn't she doing the whole song?
Yeah.
Like, they're so
in their
confused.
world.
The
Yes.
internet wanted more too. The who did it?
Vulture.
Vulture wrote the lyrics to the song.
New York Magazine wanted the whole song.
They wanted the whole song.
And yeah, it gives us carte blanche if we ever do this again to have a song. But
It's so fun.
So
It was so fun.
it works so well because you also commit so hard, and your voice sounds lovely when you're doing it, to the point where it's like, oh, like, we are in capable hands. Here she is. She's gonna do this song.
This is plausible.
But it's so crazy to me that everyone thinks that you're gonna do it when you go, you're gonna love this.
That's my only regret, is that I wish I would have said Wicked Table, this is for you. Or like, I wish I would have said Wicked Table, because like the audience couldn't tell at home who I was pointing to. But me just cockily being like, you're gonna love this is so funny. And I wish there would have been something about Cynthia and Ariana. Yeah, pay close attention, take notes, like something like that. That was my only regret, but like it was so fun.
Here's a free lesson.
Yeah.
But we did it the right way, because I think if we did do the entire song this time, then people would have been like, oh, that's too much. And we just showed that this was a proof of concept. This was our sizzle reel for the thing that could be in the future.
Yes, you don't know that you didn't want more of Pope-ular, but I assure you didn't.
You did not.
The only reason you think you want more is because we didn't give you more.
Yes.
It's crazy paradox.
Yeah, less is more here.
I promise you, like everyone's like, you should have just done a little bit more. I'm like, I promise you, we cut it off of leaving people wanting more is good.
Classic bad boy boyfriend move.
Yeah.
Didn't give it to him.
Yeah. You probably did want a bite or a taste of Insane and the Penguin.
Insane in the Gwain is a great lyric.
You know what was beautiful about the monologue and all the things? Like, I'm getting a text about something different from every single person.
Yeah.
Every single person. And one of the big texts I'm getting from like people that love Nikki and that everybody wanted more Nikki in the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. I'm in a Mets fan Discord that has 90 people, and I was going through because they were all watching the Golden Globes, and like I didn't even say I was writing on it, so I was like basically a spy. And then they're like, at like 8 p.m. they're like, "Where's Nikki gone? Like we need more of that." Like they were mad that she like kind of disappeared
God,
at a
that's
point.
So nice. You know what? We got to go to break, and let's continue this conversation when we get back. All right, final thought. So, what's next?
Well, the after party. How was that for you? A non-event.
You know, I don't think I like parties. My sister and I were both like, my mom loves parties, and my sister and I were both like, we couldn't be more not like you. Like they're too loud. I wanted to change out of the dress. I wanted to sit down. I wanted to dance.
Oh,
There
yeah. They
wasn't
would have been nice if there was
dancing.
some dancing.
It would have
there.
been really fun.
We probably should have gone over there as a group because it would have been.
Was there a dance floor?
Yeah, there was a dance
Oh,
floor.
I didn't even notice.
What we need to do next year is either have a separate section amongst the party for
Or our own
us. 'Cause
party.
There's like 30 of
There
us.
was, and we
Yeah.
were all kind of trying to stand with each other, but it was like
Yeah.
we were just in people's way.
Yeah.
Like, we
And
were-
just as people get drunker, they just like feel like more entitled to come up and
Yeah.
Take
take
your
your
time.
time and like
Or we
just
tell
need
you
our-
the story of why they like. And I think I can speak freely that the besties know that I love when people come up and say nice things, and like I always invite it, and like I'm never think I'm too cool for a compliment. But there's just some people where it's just like it was just starting to feel like I was being taken advantage
It's a
of.
different
There's an-
type of person that's at an after party than at like a show that you can't
yeah,
just see
your
you.
fans are different than like Hollywood hanger-ons. That,
Yeah.
there's like an entitlement a little bit.
Of like, take out your phone, take my number,
Oh
give
yeah,
me your
just
number.
fake Hollywood bullshit. The Hollywood snakes.
And these aren't
slithering
celebrities,
around
by
that
the way,
bullshit.
and not
It
that
just sucks.
Not that if they were celebrities, it would have made it okay. These are just people that like. I'm like, why do you think that I want to be in touch with you? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this is not. If you think I'm talking about you, it's probably not you, because I did give my information to some people because
Cool folks.
I didn't give it to.
We love that one guy.
If I gave it, if I didn't,
That one
if I
guy's
didn't
great.
give it to you,
Yeah.
if I gave it to you, I like you, but I
He
didn't
emailed
give
me
it
this
to.
morning. He's great.
Yeah, it was just a lot. It was just I was just tired. You just want to be around people that you can be really comfortable with, and like
Next year, it's
take
like
your shoes off and take your pants off and just like hang out, and
we should throw our own party.
Yes.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
threw our own sweatshirts.
The host
wear our own
party.
sweatshirts. And we should
Yeah,
throw our own
I love
party
that.
and immediately get into comfortable clothes.
Oh,
yes,
there you go.
I love that.
Noah has a question that maybe other people
I would
do.
love to hear it.
Did Harrison Ford really think you were a waitress? LOL.
That's so cute.
Great question.
No, that was part of the joke. That was like built into the joke as, kind of painting Harrison Ford as someone who obviously doesn't know who I am
Yes.
and is just,
Slightly befuddled.
begrudgingly even at this award
Yeah.
show, and I'm backstage and I go up to him and I'm like, "Hi, Harrison," and he's like, "I'll take a vodka soda," and I'm like, "Well, I actually wanted to ask you an important question about Hollywood." Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be like we used to have a joke about Harrison Ford before that.
Yeah.
That was like kind of like
Setting up that character.
yeah, setting up that character that we would then pick him up and put you down a little bit.
Yes.
So that you could do the indica joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we cut the joke before it, which was Harrison Ford is here to show us a cool rock he found.
Can I just say on that note, so many incredible decisions
Last
made
minute
by
cuts.
you guys, you especially, and then so many great ideas. Like the writers, every writer had a moment or multiple moments, like Jess had, of like, I think we should do this, with like stepping back and giving everybody perspective at different times.
Yes.
And there were moments of like killing jokes. It's like, maybe we shouldn't do this, but so many good decisions.
A complete team effort.
truly,
top to bottom.
So
Yeah.
much perspective. Like somebody would be like, hey, what if we did it this way? And it's like, oh my God, that's the exact way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think every single writer in that room got at least one thing into the monologue, and like
That's so cool.
and stuff sprinkled throughout the show. It was like,
And there were a lot of
truly-
things that were room babies
Yeah.
that we just all
Yeah.
came up with together. I mean,
Yeah.
like we were talking about this on the podcast. There was a joke that Nikki came up with on the fly at a Japanese restaurant, and now we talked about this. Now we can reveal what that joke was.
Oh, drum roll.
Yeah, and that joke was RFK's freezer.
Yeah, RFK's freezer.
yeah.
We had the list of animals, and it was going to be sexual at first. And Nikki was like, I don't think it should be sexual because the Ben Affleck thing's sexual.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were riffing on what it could possibly be for like 30 minutes. And all of a sudden, Nikki goes, RFK's freezer? And then it was like, yes, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
that was so
It
exciting.
just came out of your head full fledged. So that was what we were
Thank you.
talking
That
about.
was so exciting. Yeah, it's even for me, getting stuff in the monologue felt like a win. I'm like, oh, I got a few things into it. Like it's like that. It's such a great feeling of like seeing where you had your influence on it, and like it just felt like such. It was the best time. I'm gonna like miss going in every day. Like I had a blast. I
Yeah.
was saying, after the show, giving a little, speech or whatever, and saying like I usually dread everything I do, even if it's fun.
Yeah.
And this is something I did not dread. I was like, never was like, I gotta go down there. You don't have to wear makeup in a writer's room. You don't have to look cute. There's snacks.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
your
yeah.
friends. There's enough people that someone's talking. If you don't want to talk, you don't have to. Like it's
Oh,
just.
God, that's
the-
nice.
There's great, and it's relaxed. It's fun.
And it's some of the funniest people
Truly.
on this planet were in that
just
room.
laughing so hard.
The energy-
making
constantly.
each other laugh.
The energy was
Noah and
incredible.
Ben throwing in.
Everyone was like, truly the funniest person.
It's insane.
And like to the point where like last night when everyone was making speeches, Brian made a speech where he was like, it was the best Golden Globes ever. And I was like, I can't follow that. So what I did was I went to Real Housewives logic, and I was like, I was only mad one day to give some mystery because I thought I would get a laugh.
It
And
was
then everyone
so funny.
It was the only time you didn't get a laugh in the last 70 days.
It was so funny. No, I loved that line. And then, yeah, my favorite line of the room that like, or not favorite, but one that just comes to mind is when we were like really trying to like take apart a joke, and we were like kind of almost like tired and like just going over this wording that didn't really matter, but it did, and it was just arduous, and just we were all bored with it at this point. And then Noah was just like, "Hey, what?" And we were it wasn't that we were putting together the map of the set. So we,
Yeah.
what was that? What is the platform that is used to? I can't think of words. When he put up each little joke was in a square and he moved it around the screen.
Oh, the Miro. Yes,
Miro. He was using
Oh
this
my
like,
God.
and we're moving all these jokes. No, we should put that there. And I really think that it's better up there. It was just like we're getting bogged down by all this. And Noah's like, well, why don't we just take a quick break and watch the Miro highlights of the year? It was like a little. It was a little
Like a
link.
Spotify rap for
It was
Miro.
a Spotify wrapped of Miro. Like Miro's trying to Miro this application where you like put
You make grid.
you
like,
make grids. Is like tried to do a Spotify rap for their users to be like, let's see what grids you make
I'm
this year.
glad we
And
didn't
he's
hit
like,
play. Because
oh.
what were Rob's grids going to be?
Oh my God.
And he just goes, hey, why don't we just take a little time, take a little breather, and watch a Miro Wrapped of the Year and just see what. That was so funny.
His line, because, again, we were trying to like parse words, and it was like, should we say, he is still?
Yeah, still needs money.
Still needs
and
money.
And he's like, I just don't like the still.
somebody
Somebody
goes-
said, I just don't like the still.
He needs money, and then
Yeah.
and then he goes, we can move the still to another spot. It's like we needed still in the monologue somewhere. We had
The
to
logic
God.
of like
Just
taking
somewhere
it out
else.
that and someone wants to keep still, but he says like we'll put it somewhere else, which defeats the purpose of why anyone would. It's so funny. Shout out to Noah Garfinkel. Follow him on Twitter and stuff.
But yeah, I guess in closing, because we can end now, is just thank you. I mean, what an incredible
Truly.
You
experience. This
guys.
whole year, honestly, between
What
TNF
a
and this.
whirlwind. Oh
And
my God, it's been so
and
fun.
obviously the roast.
Honestly, this was the culmination of like truly like it was the greatest job I've ever had. Like
Yes,
I
me
loved
too.
it
It was
so
unbelievable.
much.
Me too, you guys.
I feel like Sean and I are your sons now.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
truly. I'm like, I feel like we are weird twins and you are our older sister.
I love that so much. Thank you guys. It was so fun.
We're the
I
Sklar
just
brothers.
That's
trust you
right.
with everything.
Finish each other's sentences.
Yeah.
KC 95.
I'll save my thank yous for another day, but this was really fun to wrap it up. And I truly, my body's shutting down.
Yeah,
But this
it's
was
time.
actually really fun.
Yeah.
To recap, I don't want anyone to think I was in pain the whole time. Just
No,
a
no.
little bit.
You can just think that I was in pain the whole
Yeah,
time.
because you are. Because you are. For one day, you weren't. It, like, is this how you feel all the time? This is terrible.
Yeah.
No, I literally feel hungover. It feels like I was drinking last night. That's how my body's feeling.
Yeah.
Like, and-
Well, you were
I-
drinking it. Yeah, I mean, you had adrenaline flowing through
Yeah.
your body for about 2 weeks, probably.
The
or
last
longer.
time that I felt this way, I said I'd never want to do what caused that again. So this is not a good sign. I have to agree. Alan Carr's the easy way to quit hosting award shows. All right, guys, thank you very much for listening. We will be back next week with more Nikki Glaser podcast. I love you, besties. Thank you for all the support and kind wishes and DMs and just all the love I got. I see it all. If I don't write back, it's just because I'm bogged down right now. But if I give it a little double tap and a heart, just know that that means I saw it and I read it, and I would write more, but I just don't have time. And my nails are so long, and it's hard to type with them. It really is a part of it too. I love you so much. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys for being here. We'll see you next time. Don't be cool. Bye.